ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tech Showdown. My name is Kevin. This is my co-host Teddy. He's right on top of the case today because I wanted to answer a question here today that I've seen you guys ask, and that is, can you game at 4K on ultra settings in, say, newer games on a high-end gaming rig with a single GPU? And for that, we're featuring this guy right here. It's the Nvidia Ultimate Edition Battle Box, built by Playtech. And this thing has some pretty serious specs, which we'll talk about in just a second. But first, I just wanted to say that when people talk about gaming at 4K, first of all, most of the time people don't talk about what settings they're gaming at. They'll just say, well, it can game at, on a medium quality setting at 4K. There's also another argument of if you even need to run filters, things like anti-aliasing, when you're at 4K because the resolution's so high. Do you even need to run them? We're not going to go into that in this video. I mean, you guys could chat about it if you want in the comments section. But yeah, so we're going to avoid that argument and just mainly focus on, can you game at 4K on the ultra graphics presets or the highest presets, and with all those filters up, and is it possible on a high-end gaming rig? So let's talk about this battle box here. So CPU-wise, it's coming with the Intel i7 8700K. That's a 6-core, 12-thread Coffee Lake CPU coming with a boost speed or turbo speed of 4.7 gigahertz. So it's not going to be an issue there. It's the best gaming CPU you can currently get. Now, it's sitting on the Asus Strix C370 motherboard, which is very good, and it's cooled by a Corsair H100i V2 with these Thermaltake Ring RGB fans, which make it look very, very nice. It's a very good-looking system. Now, memory-wise, it's coming with 16 gigabytes of G.Skill Trident Z RGB memory, which is very solid memory there. GPU-wise, we have the Asus Strix GTX 1080 Ti. This is probably the best or second best 1080 Ti that you can currently buy. It's sort of between that and the MSI Gaming X, but either way, you're going to get a great GTX 1080 Ti, and this is a seriously powerful graphics card. A very, very powerful GPU. And case-wise, it's coming with the InWin 303 Nvidia Edition mid-tower case, which is a very good one. Now, for the testing, I needed a good 4K monitor, and I've gone back to the Acer Predator XB281 HK, which is a 4K G-Sync display that I reviewed a while back, and I was impressed by it. This is a very good G-Sync display. The stand is fantastic, and the screen is also very good. And of course, being G-Sync, it's just so good to play. Like, that's the cherry on top of your ultimate gaming rig, is having a G-Sync monitor to match with your high-end Nvidia graphics card. So with all that being said, let's jump into the benchmarks and see how it performs. Of course, we would expect it to do very, very good at 1080p and 1440p on Ultra, but let's see how it handles 4K on Ultra in some quite new games. Some of them are very new, some of them not so new. Some of them very high requirement, some of them lower requirement. So let's jump in and see how it performs. So what do we make of the benchmarks then? Well, as predicted, 1080p, 1440p, no worries at all. That's going to be really good for you guys running, especially the 1440p, like 120Hz, 144Hz monitors, which are very, very popular among gamers, G-Sync ones as well. They're very good for gaming on. It's just, it's so nice, the 1440p high refresh rate ones. And a rig like this will do it just fine. When we went up to 4K, it seemed to depend on the game. So ones like Rainbow Six Siege at 4K and Ultra, it just doesn't, no worries at all. There's no issues there. However, on some of these newer games that are very, sort of high requirement, very, very pretty games, with the filters maxed out and everything as well, you see the frame rates are dropping down into the 40s, which isn't really where we'd like to see it. Obviously, we'd like to see it up and over the 60 FPS mark. For that, I would say you would just need to bump off the filters. Either turn them off completely or turn them down very low. You would still most likely be able to keep those high graphics presets, but you're going to really need to back off the filters. As I said earlier, there's an argument to whether you should even be running them in the first place, but we're not going to get into that. But yeah, that's what I would say, and that will bring the frame rate up over 60 FPS. So can you game at 4K and Ultra on a sort of ultimate gaming rig like this? Yes, you can. You're just going to need to play with the settings on some of these newer games, but for any of the older games or lower requirement games, yeah, you're going to be able to do it, no worries at all. However, performance isn't everything. What about the temperatures? So, for the GPU, I ran the Unigine Heaven benchmark at 1440p with everything maxed out to see what it would go up to, and the Strix 1080 Ti only went up to 71 degrees Celsius. I mean, this is a fantastic cooler on the Strix 1080 Ti. Honestly, it's a very, very good graphics card, and I would highly recommend it to anybody out there. But what about the CPU, the 8700K? I mean, it's definitely not known to be a cool running CPU, but that is a very good cooler it has on it, the H100i V2. So for this, I ran the Aida 64 CPU stress test for 5 minutes, and you see, it only went up to 76 degrees Celsius, so that's just fine. No issues there in terms of temperatures. So what do I make of this Ultimate Edition Nvidia Battle Box that Playtech built, and the question of can you game at 4K and Ultra with, say, a single GPU in a high-end gaming rig? So this Battle Box is fantastic. As you can see, it's extremely good looking. I love the look. I mean, if you were to buy this, this is going to be a very, very powerful gaming rig. You're going to be able to play everything at 1080p, 1440p, no worries at all. And as I said earlier, at 4K, to answer the other question as well, you are going to be able to game in low requirement games, medium requirement games, on Ultra just fine. With the newer AAA title games, you may need to back off the filters a little bit, but it'll still do a very good job. And to think these games like, Assassin's Creed or Destiny 2, at 4K on Ultra, they are really, really good looking. Like, the games are fantastic, but that also requires a lot of GPU horsepower, and the 1080 Ti does a very good job of it. But as I said earlier, in some of them, you may need to drop off the filters. So yeah, that's going to round out this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. In the comment section down below, as I said earlier, let me know what you think about the debate of, do you actually need to run filters if you're gaming at 4K, or do you just think you should just turn them off entirely? It's completely pointless, it just taxes the GPU unnecessarily. Or are you one of those people that feel like you do still need the anti-aliasing and things like that? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd like to know what you guys think. Now, I thank you all for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed making it. It's always great to check out these high-end gaming PCs like this Ultimate Edition Battle Box. Like, I feel fortunate that I can, get to use and review systems like this, which are just so insanely powerful. It makes it really fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, click down below to subscribe and like the video if you haven't already, because it makes Teddy very happy. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.